On the docket tonight, the shooting death of Rayshard Brooks in a parking lot at a Wendy's in Atlanta, Georgia. Ted Rollins has the story.
Both of your careers are definitely done because you just shot a man for no reason.
5 days after Rayshard Brooks was shot and killed by Atlanta police officer Garrett Rolfe, Paul Howard, the Fulton County District Attorney, announced an 11-count indictment against Rolfe, which includes felony murder.
The possible sentences for a felony murder conviction would be life without parole, or the death penalty.
According to District Attorney Howard, Rolfe shot Rayshard Brooks twice in the back as he was running away, with one of the bullets piercing his heart. A combination of available video, including police body cameras, shows Officer Brosnan approach Rayshard Brooks, who's asleep in his car, in an Atlanta Wendy's drive-through line just after 10:40 p.m.
What's up, my man? Hey, come in. Hey.
Officer Brosnan wakes Brooks up and asks him to move his car to a parking spot. A few minutes later, Officer Rolfe is on the scene, starting to question Brooks.
Your Honor, I just got something to eat. I went to visit my mother's gravesite. I'm not causing any problems.
Brooks is given a breathalyzer.
Just take a deep breath in, put your mouth over the mouthpiece, blow as hard as you can until I tell you to stop. Blah, 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 stop.
The officers then give Brooks a number of other field sobriety tests, and at this point, Brooks is doing everything he's told to do.
3, 4, 5.
Asking if he can just walk home.
I can walk home. I don't have to.
Why would you walk home?
I just don't want to be in violation of anybody. I can walk. My sister's house is right here.
Then everything changes when the officers decide to take Brooks into custody.
I think you've had too much to drink to be driving. Put your hands on your back for me. Here, put your hands on your back. Hey, stop fighting.
As Brooks begins to fight, there's a struggle over Officer Brosnan's taser.
You're gonna get tased!
Brooks wrestles the taser away and breaks free. Officer Rolfe gives chase with his taser in his right hand, but then, watch, he switches the taser to his left and draws his gun. Meanwhile, Brooks, while running, turns back and fires the taser he took from Brosnan at Officer Rolfe. Seconds later, Rolfe fires his handgun and Brooks falls to the ground. Brooks was taken to the hospital but died during surgery.
Officer Rolfe's been charged with felony murder, and as you heard in the piece, faces the possibility of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Joining us now in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney Eklund Mercy. Eklund, great to see you.
Good to see you too.
Okay, let's look at what the defense is going to be here. It looks like the defense, a big part of it will be, he shot a taser at my head and I returned fire.
And that would be a lie. The issue was, it was an arrest. There was probable cause for intoxication. And suddenly we don't know how to deal with intoxicated people. Intoxicated people aren't really reasonable, but they should not die from it. Then he patted him down before even taking any of the field sobriety tests. So you know he was unarmed. Then he took your taser, the taser that was already shot twice, so you know it didn't work. He was essentially
Wait, how did he know? Wait, I gotta stop you there because I've spoken to the defense team at length. How does Rolfe know that the taser's been fired twice?
Because it's his taser.
No, it isn't. It's his partner's taser.
So it doesn't matter. A taser, and I'll give you that. I will give you that. He doesn't know. It's a taser. You have a gun. The only thing right now that's affecting you, again, a DUI is a misdemeanor. And his car was already parked.
But it's not, he wasn't shot for DUI. He wasn't shot for DUI. He was shot for the assault.
No, he was recklessly shot because that officer didn't take into account the many people that were in that public parking lot. He didn't have to shoot him. He was given he had a taser, which wouldn't have gone that far. Then the only thing that you have is Mr. Brooks' cardio. He would have stopped eventually. My issue is there is no reason to go to lethal to lethal weapons, to lethal force in this scenario. Not at all. There's no reason. That man had an issue. He's already been written up for pulling his gun out early. I don't understand. Like, you cannot work in Walmart. And once you steal something from Walmart and you work there, you no longer work there, and you're prevented from working from any other Walmart ever in life. My issue is I need the police departments to have the same energy. This man, this officer was a threat to society, and they knew it, and he did that. He's shown that. There was no reason for him to shoot that man.
All right. Do you think the jury will think that Rayshard Brooks held some responsibility here for what happened, in that he was under arrest for DUI, he failed the breathalyzer at the scene, he was behind the wheel of the car, and instead of allowing officers to arrest him, he fights with officers, he assaults both of them, steals the taser. Do you think that they hold him responsible for the escalation and what happened here?
Well, they will remember that it was in the summer of 2020 where Black men like him were dying off of officers trying to arrest them for petty misdemeanors. They have to remember that Freddie Gray was arrested in one piece and then got out the car and was in pieces. They have to also remember that Sandra Bland went in one way and then got out in a body bag. So you're dealing with him in his situation. You have to meet Mr. Brooks where he's at. He has every reason to believe that his life was actually in danger. And the person with the authority, with the knowledge and the training, didn't know how to de-escalate the situation. He had every reason to be extra fearful that he would be murdered by that officer. And guess what? It happened.
Well, here's, and again, I spoke at length with the defense team, so I know part of what they see as the facts in this case is that he's speaking at length with Rayshard Brooks. It's a conversation. Yeah. I mean, we didn't play the whole video here, but the whole video is there's a lot of back and forth. No one's threatening anyone until Rayshard Brooks resists, assaults, and steals the taser. I mean, before that. Do you think Rayshard Brooks was thinking about he was going to get killed if he was going to be arrested, or that he didn't want to go back to jail? No, he was. They killed him, so he was right, and he has. But do you think he? Wait. Do you think they kill him if he allows himself to get arrested for DUI? There's no allowing. You don't have. If you are a Black man in the South and you are dealing with a white law enforcement officer, you are afraid. There is no scenario in which you can probably make it alive. That is what you're dealing with, regardless of if it's. So why didn't they do anything in the first 40 minutes that they were talking to him? Because my thing is, then that officer should have been able to, if he could, but I mean, we don't get that type of justice, unfortunately. An officer would have understood the situation, that George Floyd happened, that all these people are dying. Let me just give him a citation, or let's follow him home and make sure he has a citation, or let's get one of his family members to come in. That's what community policing is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, oh, you have a DUI, you should be dead because of a DUI. It should be do your job, and it's a customer service job, and you're servicing the citizens. They should not die, and they should not be fearful for their lives. Absolutely. Well, Eklund, it's going to get fought in the courtroom. Appreciate your time tonight. We'll talk about it again. Thank you so much. All right.